I'm Tom Herford, and I'm a tenor in Son is Not. But it's been most of the last 10 or 11 years of activity, and it's become a very central part of my singing life, and a very happy one. I mean, there's so many highlights. I suppose if I could be allowed two or three, that would be great. Two or three highlights would be um, uh, the opera, the anonymous opera we performed in 2015, called L'Ospedale, the hospital, which was set in a kind of mental asylum in Venice, in sort of roughly Monteverdi's time, we think. And we performed that at Wilton's Music Hall, and that was a fantastic experience for the group generally, because the first fully staged thing we'd done, and also for me, because my part was really great, had some great stuff to do. My part was called Il Cortigiano, the courtier, and in our production, which was updated, he was kind of cast as an international banker during the financial crisis, who'd been dismissed from his job. And James Halliday, one of our artistic directors, did an amazing arrangement of the very spare bass line score that exists, with multiple plucked instruments. And I just remember that sound. I've never quite heard anything like that before, and I really loved that. And that's now been released on a DVD, so we can sort of enjoy that all over again whenever we want to, which has been great. Quite a bleak show, actually, and also what I found so interesting about it was that it really did delve quite deeply into all the mental health questions that we struggle with today. I think other people have mentioned the first concert we did in Leipzig, the Bachfest in 2016. That was a really exciting moment, because to be in Bach's town at the Bachfest in one of Bach's two churches there, the Nikolaikirche, was exciting enough in itself, but then to get the response we did, and now to be sort of really integral parts of that wonderful festival, was just, thrilling, absolutely thrilling. Son is Not gave me my first opportunity to really study and perform the Bach John Passion Evangelist role, and that was a massive gift. I feel I've learnt a lot from having to internalize that, memorize it, and to a point actually inhabit it like an opera role. And the concert in the Wigmore Hall for me was the one, because of the kind of pressure cooker of that small stage, and all those people on that small stage, and the wonderful acoustic, and sort of the special feeling of that hall. It was a really memorable occasion. So yeah, they'd be my highlights so far, among many. It's the uniquely intense combination of stress and elation. Yeah, I think we all love it for the same reasons we find it quite stressful. You know, whether it's the memory or the social and musical complexity of trying to perform without a conductor. The complexity definitely ramps up quite a lot, and one thing that has been a constantly fascinating challenge is working out how to sort of manage that in rehearsals without it completely exploding into pandemonium, and then also how to kind of channel it, and then channel it musically in performance as well. And I think what that challenge creates is this kind of super awareness. There's no way around it. You know, you can't rely on anyone else, and it's a thrill. It's stressful, but I think because the results are so hard won, then we appreciate our successes even more. That's how I would describe Solomon's Knot, and the joys and the pressures of it. They sort of go hand in hand. It's that old thing. You can't see the view unless you've climbed the mountain. Yeah, I feel top of the world after a good concert. It really is one of the best feelings I know. It really is. Yeah. You know, I get the music through in the post, and there's that much music, but in fact, I'm only in, you know, a quarter of it. So then I sort of breathe a sigh of relief and go, okay, well, this is not going to be too much of a challenge. And then sometimes I get something through and I'm on every single page, like the Bach motets, or the Gesualdo project we did was also like that. And you think, right, okay, this is a big challenge. I do a lot of writing stuff out, walking, singing in my head, bit of karaoke. I sometimes write out my part in very small notes so that I can have a whole movement on one piece of manuscript. And I like to mentally reduce the size of the challenge. So if I can see a whole piece on one page, I sort of think, oh, it's just a page that I need to learn. And mentally, that's good for my process. But, you know, it's also good just to actually kind of link the memory to writing, I've always found. And it's quite good also, at least in the first part of the process, to just, for me anyway, to zero in on my part, no distractions, so that I can sing my part a cappella by myself, know exactly what's happening. And then as the rehearsals approach, I sort of start being a bit wider in my thinking about the musical texture, and I'll do lots of listening, different chordings, and look a bit more at the score actually. But yeah, I find it useful at the start of the process to zero in on my job exclusively. I'm really looking forward to the moment of seeing a way out of the current situation, however that might be, and that will feel like a big weight off my mind, frankly. And then I also hope that the return to work will sort of be a really joyful one, and one where we have a renewed sense of how special it is, the work that we do. One thing I do love about Solomon's Knot, which I perhaps didn't mention earlier, was the fact that we are forced, because of the memory and no conductor aspect, to find slightly new ways of performing these pieces, and this slightly hybrid feeling between concert and opera, for lack of a better word, something quite dramatically engaged. And I'm always very interested to work with directors or things, even on choral pieces. And this is something we've done quite a lot over the years. And I really hope we can continue that and keep exploring different ways to present these big pieces. So yeah, more concerts. I'd love to do some recording. I think that's in the pipeline, and more experimentation with other artists from slightly different realms. That's what I hope for. Yeah.